Coming to you from the award-winning Final Third Cigar and Whiskey Lounge, PCA's 2024 Best of Leaf Midwest Cigar Bar, Indiana's exclusive Aladino Cigar Lounge, it's the Final Third Podcast.
Third podcast. I'm Rob.
I'm Will.
I'm the other Will.
I'm Scott.
And I'm Grant.
And today we're going to be drinking some bottles that Will brought in. Some things that we haven't had on the show, or actually probably all these none of us have tried except for maybe Will. So we're going to be trying some things out here at the end of the year just to try them and enjoy, whiskey, because that's what we do.
That's what we do.
We do drink and smoke.
We like to drink
That's
whiskey.
kind of our thing.
Smoke
Yeah.
So we're going to start off the day with the Undercrown Tim Maduro from Drew Estate. So this has a Mexican San Andreas wrapper with a Mexican San Andreas and Connecticut broadleaf binder and the Nicaraguan fillers. We like the full-bodied stuff, and this actually goes really, really well with some good bourbon. So.
And I know we've had this on here before, I'm pretty sure.
We have.
But I know one of the things we always talk about that I love is the presentation.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah. It's really stunning.
I feel special.
Right?
when I open
Don't
it.
you? Yeah.
Got the ribbon.
Make
Yes.
you feel all sophisticated.
Yeah.
Well, we're kind of at
Very
the end of the year where there's not a lot of new releases coming out, and it is what it is. We're going to probably smoke a couple of the ones we smoked recently. I think I might have a special treat for you guys for the final show of the year.
Ooh,
We'll see if that comes into
I like
fruition.
treats.
Yeah.
treats are nice.
Treats are nice.
Like
They
them
come
almost
with a
as much as I
disclaimer.
like
They won't have
as
to
dogs
worry.
do, right?
Yeah.
Treat time.
So we're recording today. It's a Sunday. We're
Whew.
recording at 1:00 in the
The lounge?
the lounge. That works.
Yes.
And we're going to be having the speaker up. We're going to try to do this for a while, see if people enjoy coming out and just being a part of the podcast with us, in the background or come by and say,
If you think it sucks, you can tell us that too.
Yeah.
that's fine too. If it's more annoying than sitting and watching TV, we can change that up too. So
We need feedback.
Yeah, you're like,
yes,
who are these assholes up here?
yes,
Why
yes.
can't I hear my football game?
Yeah. Sorry. The Colts aren't playing right now. Otherwise, we probably would have it flipped.
Are they a
more.
4:00 game?
Yeah, they're the 4:30
Four.
game.
Is it 4:30? Okay.
Yeah.
Playing the Broncos.
The Fuel play today at 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Hockey.
Ah,
Are they still home?
No.
Okay. Where'd they go this time?
They went to Kalamazoo after losing to Kalamazoo in overtime last night.
Another brutal, heartbreaking loss, man. That was bad. Now I will say, I feel like Verbatic is. I don't know if he's as good as Goudreau yet, but I think his numbers are going to show he's pretty darn good.
Yeah, I think he's looking real solid. We had, what is it, Constantini? Constantini.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I don't quite remember.
But I know nothing about him either.
I don't either. I mean, his picture was like him in a Rangers jersey.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if that means he, got drafted by the Rangers originally or what the story was there.
Could be.
yeah, that game was an emotional roller coaster.
Oh my
last
gosh.
night. I was so up and
There,
down.
I mean, you could tell the teams didn't like each other, which Scott and I talked a little bit about this the other day. Fuel are kind of feeling like the bad boys of the league right now because no matter who they play, they're chirping and they're fighting, and it's like, okay, they're kind of being the bad boys. So I kind of like that.
Yeah.
They've got that attitude about them right now.
Yeah.
I did like 61 came out thinking he was going to be the big enforcer, and he got leveled quite a few times.
And-
Yes, he
and-
did.
And he missed a couple.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, those were priceless.
He got punked a couple times. I thought that was hilarious.
I didn't have a problem with that.
Where he just flat out missed him. Bielik had a great game.
He did 2 goals
He had a great game.
and an assist.
He had 2 goals yesterday. I know he did.
Or no, he had
He had 2 goals
He had a
on
goal
Friday.
and assist.
that's right. He
Goal
had
and
an
assist,
assist last
yeah.
night. Yeah, 2 points. Yeah.
His goal was insane.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he just was like, I'm not going to be denied.
Mhm.
He skated around 2 guys. He
Yeah.
backhands it right in the net. I mean, that was perfect.
It
Goes to the knee for the slide off.
Oh, yeah.
It happened so fast. I double take to even see that he scored it. It was just that quick.
Yep.
Tell you
Hey,
what,
we have cigars, but we don't have whiskey.
yes, we got to get started on some whiskey.
Pour some whiskey. So let's start out with Green River.
Nice.
This is a, single barrel pick that Club Marzipan did. Green River is, of course, out of. I just knew I was going to space it.
Virginia?
No, they're Western Kentucky. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, Owensboro.
Yeah.
It
Where
was the
where did they start out? Did they start out in Western Kentucky?
started out in Owensboro. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And,
Okay.
By the way, this should be like labeled the Will's Special Picks show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because Will's providing the whiskey today. Thank you,
That's
Will.
right.
Green River's
yeah.
been around forever, but they it was in the run by the distillers run by the Call family, Ron Call and his sons Jacob and Clayton, and they sold to Barstown Bourbon Company a few years ago, and they're kind of out of the Green River scene now. They started a new distillery called Western Kentucky Distillery, where they're doing a lot of source contracting, mostly for, we know, RD1. They're source contracting for RD1, but this would be their distillate. I don't have an age statement on this. So this was picked earlier this year, and I just got the bottle yesterday. So let's try it.
Let's go.
See how it is.
I don't know what it is, but I'm really ready to drink some
that one's
bourbon
yours there.
today.
You go ahead and start. I'll pass it around.
I just kind of woke up in a mood and was like, I probably should just have whiskey in my coffee. I
That's not a
didn't.
bad idea.
You
Well, I should have. I
almost-
didn't.
I almost did that earlier
Did you?
when
Yeah.
I got here.
You know, I should have. Oh well. Live and learn. You know.
Yeah, I'll tell you, talking a little bit about hockey too, and Colin. Colin didn't watch out. That boy's going to get pulled up because he's playing some great hockey this year, and good for him if he does. But yeah, way he's played this year. I mean, he seems way more aggressive. He's going for the goals more than he ever has. He's a little more chippy. I mean, everything. His entire game has been better. His skating this year has been a lot better too. So
We have so much shit on this table right now. We can barely move.
hey, Chloe,
Chloe, could you get a little paper towel or something?
Chloe, can you get a towel, please? A towel.
Because you're not listening.
Because you got your headphones on.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it'll be the first commercial break. Will be a little early in the show today.
Spencer Lee's. Jeez.
Especially
It's really, yes.
2 minutes in, time for a commercial.
We're already all over it. So
we're back.
You know,
Yeah, we're back.
this is why we don't do this live. I mean,
Exactly.
it's always trouble.
exactly, yeah. Well, the only reason I asked about getting the towel is because Lisa will yell at me if we leave whiskey on here and it actually starts fading this table because it looks too beautiful the way it is.
It is beautiful. Speaking of another sponsor, Deadwood
Yeah,
Live. Thank
Deadwood
you.
Live, thank you.
You guys are awesome.
So they were out here yesterday.
Yeah,
Got to see
I was
them
out for a little bit
Yeah,
yesterday.
yeah. He's been traveling a lot for work. It's nice to
That's
see him out
I
here.
saw that Derek picked up a couple of nice bottles at the Right to Buy event at Rural Inn yesterday. He posted
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Rib 10 and something else, but I was focused on the old Rib 10. I'm like, good job, man. That's a nice
So
bottle.
what I'm hearing is we need to have Derek on the show.
podcast to share these bottles.
Bring his bottle. And
Yeah.
we'll just.
Calling you out there. Calling you out, buddy.
Yeah, I will say on the Indie Fuel, just to kind of close out the subject, I agree with you. Colin's playing out of his mind this year. He is on an AHL contract, so he could get called up to the Ice Hogs. We have had a bunch of players called up, defenseman, goalie,
Spodniak.
Sponiak at the forward.
Yeah.
So we've had
Yep.
three get called up, one get called away.
Yep. And I think one went back to Europe. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
there was a lot of new names last night that nobody knew about until they walked, skated on the ice.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, who the hell are these guys?
Yeah.
And overall, as guys playing together for the first time, they played pretty well together.
They did. And I mean, Gagne obviously is starting to be an up and comer scorer. So, hopefully we won't miss Spodniak too much if he stays up there, but they called a bunch of people up to the Blackhawks from
Yeah.
the Ice Hogs. So that's kind of where we're at right now. And
yeah.
we'll just have to see how it goes today. Maybe they pull one out. We're definitely a better team than Kalamazoo. Our record shows it, and we need to make sure that we hopefully get a win while we're up in their barn today.
Yep, exactly.
I hope we can for sure.
So this is actually beautiful. The nose on it definitely reminds me of Green River nose.
Yep.
But the palates, I mean, the finish on it just continues to go and go and go. Very fruity.
I was going to say the same thing. I mean, I don't know why, but I was thinking about our dinner we're going to go to tomorrow and having some good wine. And then I smelled this and I'm like, this kind of has some some similar wine kind
Yeah.
of notes to it.
Almost like a Cab Merlot kind of flavor to it a little bit. Not quite as dry as Cab.
Almost like a dark cherry
I
kind
get
of.
a lot of cherry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cherry
I get
for
a
sure.
lot of
I
cherry.
get some tobacco on the nose too. I get a nice little tobacco. I get that a lot in the Green River. A lot of
Yeah.
times, nice little sweet tobacco note. But the cherry's prominent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
these
like-
guys have
that's
been doing
good.
good stuff for a while.
They
And I
really
like
have.
that RD1 stuff, which I
Well-
know is their contract distill. but-
The best thing about Green River too is the price point is
Yeah.
just great. I mean, you can get a cask strength Green River for like $40.
Nice.
No, I mean it's awesome.
And they're putting
can't
out a
beat
lot
that.
of lot of stuff at higher proof. Because the first one I ever saw was down here at Elite Beverage, and it was just the 80 proof Green River, and the guy was talking about it. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll get a bottle. I think it's like $35-$40. So I bought it. I'm like, I was a little underwhelmed because it was 80 proof. I think it was just too low proof. Everything else I've had from them has been fantastic.
Yeah, the proof on this one, I didn't call that out, is I can't see.
Get your eyes
Thank
open.
you. Get your glasses.
118.
111.
You want to guess?
I'm guessing 118. Although it is the first pour of the day, it's hard to say.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say
I'll say 114.
I'll say 109.
Okay.
I go 112.
Will, what do you think proof on this?
Oh, I said 111. I figured we were prices right.
All right.
Here for a minute.
All low.
Really? Oh, okay.
130.8.
What the hell?
That does not come
Oh,
across.
It does not drink that way. No.
Wow.
All right, 130 proof whiskey is your first drink in the morning.
gonna say.
Well,
Good.
afternoon. Yeah.
Dangerously crushed.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
I would
Wow.
have not expected that.
No, I didn't. But it does explain to me now why I feel like it. I don't know that it pairs real well with this cigar. I almost feel like it overruns it a little bit.
Yeah.
And this is a big, bold cigar,
Yeah.
It
which is
definitely
kind
cut down
of,
the spice on it.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was kind of odd
Yeah.
how it did that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't finish as strong as you think a 130 would.
No, it doesn't.
It
No.
It's almost mouth-watering.
Well,
kind of.
thinking
It
of some,
really is.
thinking
Yeah.
of some of the Old Forester, high proof stuff in the 130s, and some of that stuff can come across pretty hot. This does not. I mean, I
All right,
can't.
It does have a
anybody
long
gets that.
finish, but it's not
No.
hot and it's not harsh.
A lot of caramel too. Very
Yeah.
viscous. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
So I guess we're ready for some proofers today because I see 117. I see the Larceny single barrel, which isn't going to be low.
Nope. Nope.
Yep.
we're on a proof run.
Oh
Yes,
man.
Yes. Yes.
For our
As
first,
we should be.
as we should.
This episode is sponsored by Uber,
Yes.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, we had
whether
talked
they know it
about-
or not.
We talked about, we probably will do it at some point. Do a Japanese whiskey
We will. Yeah.
episode.
Yes.
We blew the Japanese whiskey off for some proofers. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, most Japanese whiskey is not going to be very high proof. I'm sure they do have some cast strength stuff, but it's
Yeah,
not popular
that's
stuff.
not really what they're going
what they're
for.
going for.
That's
Nope.
yeah, it's not
Not
their
at all.
jam. So that'll be a fun episode. Looking forward to that one.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You can do a
completely
remote
different
from a hibachi
experience.
grill.
Oh yeah, man, that'd be cool. Go do hibachi podcast episode.
Ooh, there you go. There you go.
Keep
I'm
it
in.
away from the fire.
Food,
Yeah.
fat guy. Yeah, I'm in.
I like that. So my daughter Mackenzie, she's my oldest, and her birthday is December 21st. So coming up.
Yep.
And I offered to take her and her husband and me and my wife out to a nice dinner, and I gave her a few options of places, and so she goes out and looks at the menu and she says, "Hey, I don't want to wreck your budget, but I've never had Japanese A5 Wagyu, and they have it at Sullivan's." Oh, gee, thanks, dude.
Yeah.
$24 an ounce.
Yeah. But you like Sullivan's.
You can have that.
You like
I do like Sullivan's. It's really good.
You can get that 4-ounce fillet for your birthday.
Exactly. Here's your 4 ounces.
Sullivan's a solid. It's
It
always
is.
solid. Always you
Yeah.
can trust what you're getting there. It's going to be good.
It's one that's kind of sneaky because no one thinks about Sullivan's
You
anymore.
don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it
been here
flies under
forever.
the radar for whatever
Yep.
reason. I mean,
Yeah. Janelle and I went a couple years ago, and it had probably been, I don't know, 10 or 15 years since we'd been there. And we've been back twice since because, like you said, it just kind of flies
good.
under the radar.
Kind
Some of the
of feel
other
like
places.
Peterson's does the same thing.
It
Not a
does.
whole
yeah.
lot of people really pay attention to Peterson's.
I like Peterson's. I feel like Peterson's is kind of up and down sometimes
I'd agree.
on what you get, but I do. I still love Peterson's, and it's
Yeah.
a staple, obviously, in Fisher's. But Sullivan's, man, like 25 years ago, it was kicking and had a great bourbon selection then. And
Yeah.
it's always had a good bourbon selection, and you could always go back into the lounge. You know, back in the day, you could smoke in there.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
which was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have a cigar back in the lounge, in the bar area, have a nice pour. Those days are obviously gone, but
Yeah,
Still
I
have
really
great
want to see that
bourbon
come back. I want to see steakhouses have a smoke, a cigar lounge in the back where you can, after your dinner, go back and have a cigar.
I love that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's great when you got
Oh.
after dinner and you're like, oh yeah, I can go smoke a cigar right here.
Yeah,
That
I
is
mean, think about that. I
something
mean,
that's
there's
missing.
some restaurants in Texas and Carolinas and in the South that still do that. But actually, a lot of the steakhouses in Texas, Dallas area, have a cigar lounge in the back.
Yeah.
Um,
The Chop House in Grand Rapids, Michigan still has a cigar lounge
Do
in the
they?
basement. Yep.
Okay,
we
okay.
would do a lot of late night meetings there too. So we would have, midweek after work meeting and go in there and have pours and have a cigar and just get some work done. It's awesome. Love it.
It's a great way to do
Miss
it.
Yeah.
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 Miss that. Miss, Daddy Opry Jacks was the same. I don't know if you can still smoke at Opry Jacks. It was right by, it was a bar off the side of Daddy Jacks, over on Meridian.
Is that Meridian?
Then no,
Meridian
because that's in Marion County. They
Right, yeah,
enacted
this
the
is- so
care-
It's inside 465 now, so you can't,
Yep.
can't smoke in there at all.
Nope. They killed it all.
Yeah.
No smoking inside except for, now you can do it if you're a dedicated cigar like lounge or bar,
Right, right.
but you can't do it if you're like a restaurant.
That was like Sticks.
Oh, so you can't
Sticks
throw
had
food.
the food.
Well, yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can.
Blazers food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Sticks. They they had the restaurant downstairs, the cigar lounge above, but you could always order your food up there and it'd be brought right back up to you. So that was probably the last one I've been to that you could actually smoke and eat in.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, on this Green River too, I'm picking up kind of on the finish, kind of a nice little minty note on the finish.
Yeah, I kind of wondered about that.
It's kind of like a
I didn't get that.
hot cinnamon, then it kind of rolls into a mini because my palate
It's
feels
got
like
bland pepper.
I just chewed spearmint gum
Yeah.
or something like
Like
that.
it's refreshed.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah, it's not normal that you have something that's like a palate cleanser.
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel
At
like
130
I see
proof.
because I do feel like it's more of that sweet.
Maybe it is like having Listerine. I don't know. 130 proof whiskey. Just swish it and spit it. What is that video? First, you pour the bourbon in a glass, you swirl it around, and then you dump it.
Dump it.
And then you pour more in.
And you go, hello.
I don't think I got the right accent because I forget. Is he British?
Yeah,
I think I was.
I think so.
Yeah, I was Scottish.
No,
Yeah,
it's British.
It is.
British or Scottish? I can't remember.
Same
Yeah.
island.
somewhere over there.
Yeah, that was funny,
We got out. So we're fine.
man.
This is the week before Christmas when this gets posted, and this whole week we're gonna be doing some specials. So we're gonna have up to 30% off select boxes of cigars. We're gonna have the merch back on sale again too for the Christmas week. I'm not sure what the full discount's gonna be, if it's gonna be across the board, but it's anywhere between 10 and 30%. So we're gonna have a lot of stuff out on that as well. So if you need some last second gifts for your cigar smoker in your family or in your life, come in here and grab some stuff.
So
Treat yourself and buy it for yourself.
there you go.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So there is some news. Do we want to
Nah, we'll tease it out.
gonna tease it out a little
yeah,
bit?
yeah.
Yeah, we got some news coming.
Yeah.
There may be another Christmas gift in
Mhm.
mind for some of your favorite cigar smoker friends out
Absolutely,
there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. We'll talk about that here in a few minutes.
yeah, we'll come back around to that. Are we about ready to pour the next
I'm gonna
bottle?
pour the next one.
Sure. I might as well chug the rest of mine.
I think we'll go with
If you do shorter pours, Rob, you don't have to chug as much.
That's no fun.
130 proof.
And Scott says that and still has to chug his.
So,
That was a
so
sip.
good.
That was just a sip.
this is a single barrel of K. Luke. K. Luke is out of Mississippi. We've tried some K. Luke, not on the podcast, but just to hear his friends tasting some samples that I had.
Yeah.
I think they're doing great. They're all sourcing their whiskey from Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, Tennessee. But Jonathan, I think it's Maisano, and his wife are the co-owners of K. Luke, and they do all the blending themselves. I think they're doing a phenomenal job. He's getting some really good bottles out there. And this is a single barrel that Seal Box basically pushed out for their 12 days of Christmas. They were doing a special single barrel release each day. This is a 10-year Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, 10-year age statement, single barrel. So I'm not sure where it's sourced from, but having a 10-year Kentucky whiskey, you know it's probably going to be pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Good, yeah. Well, and they're not distributing in Indiana yet, right?
they're not.
Okay. Yeah,
Is
because
there plans
maybe
for it to
one-
come here?
I guess depends on if they grow, right?
That's a good question. I've talked about reaching out to them to see if there was any interest in that. I haven't done that yet. I might do that first part of the year, see if they have plans to, and if they're looking to, or things like that.
I like it. I remember having a different K-Luke when you brought it in, and it
Yeah.
was really good.
They have great palates. They just know how to blend well.
We've been talking about that a lot lately. Not necessarily on the show, but we've been talking about this idea of having great palates and being able to pick barrels that when you're sourcing, or being able to blend, and how that seems to be kind of overtaking now again the finishes that have been so popular for so long.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how this kind of moves along in the marketplace.
Well, and blending is kind of in the same world as when someone says, we source from MGP. It kind of used to be one of those things like, oh, I don't really want that. But now people are starting to realize that there are some amazing blenders out there.
Yeah.
Barrel's been doing it for a long time. Joseph Magnus has done it for a while. And now you've got Circle City and these guys and others doing it. It's an art form. It's an art form being able to bring whiskeys together to come up with an amazing palate.
Well, hell, I mean, Will, you said you did which flight did you do here that you did it blind?
I did the Kentucky.
Yeah, and you got like one right.
One right.
Yeah, and I mean, you have got a great palate.
I was
Exactly.
was pissed at myself.
It's amazing
And
what
if you
these
think
people that
about
do
it,
it for a living.
On that flight, you've got Buffalo Trace, Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond, Woodford Double Oak, and Four Roses. And you think all those are so uniquely different until
Yeah.
you have to taste them, not knowing what they are. And I think the one you picked was Four Roses because probably the nose a little bit more floral. But yeah, you wouldn't expect that to happen until you try them, and it's really hard.
Yeah, a lot of those, to be fair, too, like Buffalo Trace. I'm not usually drinking that neat.
Right.
Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond. I should have gotten that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, we drink a lot of
That one I should have gotten.
That does seem like one that most of us should be able to get. I know we
They're
all
all
drink a
at
lot
that
of it.
100 proof and under too, which will throw your palate off a
Yeah.
little bit too. So
And it's crazy. It shows you that you do pick off the labels, and when you don't have the label, it kind of throws you off. And
Yeah, it's like we were talking, what was it, last night, about taking the bands off the cigars and doing a blind cigar.
Mhm.
It really changed your mind. When you knew what it was, it registered in your brain
yeah,
and clicked all the boxes. But when you don't have a band on it, somebody just hands it to you, it's like a clean slate, and you got to try and learn it all over again.
yeah,
I'm trying to guess who the distillery is.
I know.
Yeah,
I don't.
It doesn't taste like Heaven Hill.
I've
It's
got
not Heaven Hill.
I've got a thought that it's Wild Turkey, but
I'd probably buy that.
yeah,
Yeah,
I could
it's-
see
Of all of those, yeah, I don't know if anything other than maybe I don't know.
It's got a note that I can't quite
I don't.
pick in this one.
Unless it was some sort of Buffalo Trace thing, but I don't think it would be. I think it would be. It's not Barton because I don't get that
No.
banana note at all.
Right.
It's not there at all. But it's a single barrel, so you never know.
You never know. Yeah.
It's more turkey profile to me.
Well, the nose on it reminds me of what a cigar back should be. It's got
Yeah.
that little bit of kind of tobacco to it, but it's also nice and smooth and kind of creamy on the nose. So it's like it's kind of an interesting pairing with the cigar, and actually it's kicking the spice level back in the cigar up.
Yeah, I can't
Slight.
figure out if it's got some sort of fruit note or some sort of like nut.
It's not I think it's a subtle cherry or subtle red fruit note. That's kind of an undertone in it.
You
to
think?
me.
I get a
do
little
think it's
more of a
nutty.
nuttiness.
Something. It almost tastes something like something toasted, or like roasted almonds or something.
The
It's
roasted
like a-
almonds, that's a
Very
good
good.
call.
Very
Yeah.
good.
I didn't
Yeah.
get a nutty note, but if you were getting a nutty note, I would lean towards Heaven Hill then, or Bean.
Or bean.
I was thinking
bean.
bean.
That's where I was headed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
There it is.
I bet it's Beam.
That's kind of where I was thinking.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not like a strong nut note, but if you roasted something and you get that almost that aroma off of it rather than the taste, but the
Mhm.
smell of a roasted almond or a roasted, pretty much anything at this point.
It's not peanuts though.
No, it's
No.
not.
No, it's not
No.
peanuts. No, no.
I think
No.
of peanuts. That's what I think of bean. Like
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you're
I'm
right.
almost thinking like a cashew, to be honest.
I could.
A little,
yeah, roasted
almost a
cashew.
little sweeter, but not the harsh saltiness or anything like that.
My
Just
head was
something.
in macadamia nut, but they're kind of similar kind of profiles.
Yeah.
it's very good though. I like it.
I
Yeah.
like it a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very good.
That's tasty.
Nice spice level on
That
it.
was what, 110?
Yep.
No, 120. Well, 119.4.
Boy,
Okay. Low proof stuff. That's great.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
Oh, we took it down.
but for people who want to try K-Luke, you can go on Sealbox and get it. Sealbox is an online, distributor.
They shipped to Indiana?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
sure do. Yep.
Okay. Some people don't, so I was curious.
We don't know why.
I don't
They don't
understand
know why.
No one knows why.
They think they know why.
Yeah.
They're wrong.
Yeah. Always.
Well, that's what Drew Black was saying when we had Drew on. He said, all the online distributors, they never distribute to the same states. It's almost like you pick who you can only do so many, maybe. I don't know, but
Well, you get 3 darts and you have to throw them at the map.
yeah, that's what I
all you
feel
get.
like. I mean,
So you're talking about things that might be considered anti-competitive because they're limiting their geographic areas. And we did hear of some news about some anti-competitive lawsuit.
There's a couple of them actually.
Yeah.
So you have Albertsons and Kroger have been trying to combine it together, and the courts shot them down and says, no, you're going to have a monopoly. You can't do that. I'm like, the government tells me I can't actually merge a brand. I mean, it's like, come on. I get some of that for and I don't get it, but
This
I also
decision sponsored by Walmart.
Exactly. 100%. So that was one. But yeah, the other one you were talking about was Southern Glacier.
Yes, that was the one I was thinking of. Southern Glacier. So tell us about that, Rob. What's
So,
going on there?
It's weird because every distributor I think does this. Well, I shouldn't say every distributor. The big distributors definitely do this. If me being a smaller location and Total Wine being a big conglomerate or Meyer being massive, they're probably buying skids upon skids upon skids of bottles so they get a better cut. Again, supply, demand, and also so if you're buying more, you should get a better discount. I understand that. I don't have a problem with that. But there's apparently some kind of a law from like the 30s that said the distributors of alcohol can't do that. They have to sell it for the same price to everybody.
it's called the Robinson Patman Act,
Yeah.
which basically is in place to prohibit discrimination of smaller businesses.
Yeah. And I think the consensus is it's going to probably end up getting thrown out. But if it doesn't get thrown out, then I see what's going to happen is they get Southern Glacier, then there's no reason why they're not going to go after every other big
Every other.
distributor.
But is this for liquor only?
Beer and wine.
beer,
Everything.
beer, wine, it's,
Okay.
it's all liquor. Yeah.
So it's really, really weird to have that kind of regulation in place because that doesn't exist anywhere else.
Think about it. It was in the 30s. They were creating
Well,
all kinds of laws after Prohibition.
It's also different. The beer industry has different laws than the liquor and wine industry.
Okay.
So even though it's all alcohol, that's why in Indiana
Well,
we
that's like-
can't sell cold beer anywhere but a liquor store.
Right.
Yeah.
Is
But it's
be-
super
you can
anti-capitalist.
But you can sell cider and wine and Mad Dog and all that stuff. You can sell that cold in every gas station in the planet,
Yeah.
but you can't sell Bud or Miller, Coors, any of those.
Which
When you
makes 0 cents.
And you remember, in our area, there was a gas station chain called Rickers. It's a local family that owned all of them. And,
Shout out to Jay.
Yep,
Yep,
Jay.
Jay Ricker.
Quinn.
And he ended up selling it off to Get Go and I think some other organization, whatever. But when he was the one that figured out a way to get around it, just like everyone figures it out. He opened up a pizza place with
I
3
think it's
tables.
burrito place.
He had a burrito
Yeah,
place.
pizza
He had
and one
Subway
Phil's.
chains.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
He had pizza
Yeah.
places.
But
So-
you had to have tables so they can come in here and eat. It's like a restaurant, and they were able to have cold beer in there, even though everything else was a matter of just gas station.
Final Third Cigar is Indiana's exclusive Aladino Cigar Lounge. Come to Final Third for a selection of over 20 different Aladino cigars, including the Cameroon, a wonderful cigar with nice light flavors. Make sure and visit Final Third, the Aladino exclusive cigar lounge for Indiana.
So good for him to figure out a way to get around the government.
Which they obviously closed that loophole, but as part of
Did
it,
they close it?
Yeah. So
Oh, okay.
in
Okay.
negotiations, they said we'll give you Sunday sales.
Yep.
And so that's where we got Sunday sales, because you used to not be able to buy any liquor
Gotcha.
of any
Okay.
type.
I didn't realize they closed that loop.
Yep.
But
That's
as
what
far as
they
the
passed, yeah.
back to the bulk pricing stuff, it's the same thing that really hit everybody with the happy hour deal, that they had to fight for the happy hour thing, because you can't sell, specifically cheaper to one person than the other. But with beer, they have to advertise. It's a little different, because in the beer industry, when you offer those deep discount deals, you have to offer it to everybody. So it's based on just quantity alone.
Yeah.
So a lot of the distributors will have like a 100 case price point and a 50 case price point and stuff like that. Same
So
way.
that's
with
how
these.
they get around
That's
it.
how they get
is-
around it, is they offer it to everybody, but
Yeah.
you have to buy that much to qualify. So
Ah,
that's where it screws the smaller business,
yeah,
is because they don't have the inventory, the space, the sales or whatever to get 100 cases of something.
right.
So Southern's basically, their argument is they are following the law. They are not discriminating, and that they will defend us. They will defend themselves vigorously in this litigation.
We will not go quietly into the
They
night.
do not. Exactly. Man. They,
Now,
Dude,
I will
did you
say,
just pull it out an Independence Day reference?
Maybe.
That
Maybe,
was
maybe.
awesome. You just made my whole day with that.
so I will
I'm
say
a pilot.
on Southern Glacier, the stuff I get from them, I get a lot of Heaven Hill from them, because that's probably one of their biggest ones they have. I don't feel like my pricing's out of whack with what other people pay for it. I just don't. I think we're actually pretty close to that. So they might be totally legitimate, but I don't know.
Well,
It'll
it's
be
always
interesting
interesting.
to see how it plays out for sure.
Yep, it'd be good to find out.
what's interesting too is that the American Craft Spirits Association is actually siding with the FTC, saying they welcome the investigation, and they basically are saying that they know there's more than 3,000 craft distilleries in the U.S. operating in all 50 states. Despite this number, craft spirits only account for less than 5% of all spirits volume. So they're trying to say basically it's hurting craft distilleries by price fixing.
Interesting.
That's
So that's
Okay,
That's
so
an
that's
interesting
different.
twist, that you've got them backing the FTC and not the distributor.
Yeah, that is kind of odd. You don't want to separate yourself from the rest of the industry. Huh. Oh well, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we will.
If it ever happens or anything happens, we'll let you guys know.
yes. I'm trying to figure out how to take this wrapper off. I just realized it's 2.
You
Yeah,
might
it's
try
too
to
big.
slide it off. Mine slid right
I
off.
did. I
Okay.
did try to slide and
Didn't work. Okay.
I mean, as soon as I hit a stopper, I'm like, okay, don't
Don't
mess
rip
with it.
your
Yes.
zipper.
Yeah.
I
So if you're
just
smoking
destroyed
this,
it.
it's got 2 bands. It's got the
Yes.
big thick one and then the small one, which has some writing.
Little underground. Oh yeah.
It says gracias.
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 I'm
Thank you. Thank you for buying our cigar. You're welcome.
the more I taste this K Luke, I'm still sticking with wild turkey. I think it's a turkey product.
Think so?
So you're back
Could
to
be.
turkey, not bean.
I'm turkey.
Well, he never went to bean. We were the ones who were thinking bean because of the nuttiness. But
Yeah.
We were
I'm
the
with
nuts
you.
that said bean.
I'm with you though. Peanutty is what their stuff is. This is not peanut.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. The power of suggestion, I immediately agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I get
I did go back and smell it, and I'm like, oh shit, that does smell
I
like
get
it.
pickles and ice cream on this one. I don't.
I get
pickles and ice cream.
I think you're pregnant, Rob.
Dang it! Again.
Again.
I mean, that does explain a lot.
I'm having flashbacks sipping on this and opening up my smoker on Thanksgiving morning while I'm sipping wild turkey.
Wild
Like,
turkey.
Is the damn turkey,
turkey.
ready? Is it not? Is it ready? Is it not?
You're not supposed to open it. If you open it,
If you
let's
look
all
at- you ain't cooking.
That's
I know,
right.
I know.
That's right.
I know.
All right, so we're like 6 or 7 days from the last episode that was released, and at that time I had not watched Shoresy.
Oh, now you have.
I've now binged the entire 3 seasons, and it's stupidly hilarious.
It is.
Oh my god! And the funny thing is, there's probably maybe 10 one-liners throughout the whole show, and they just keep going over and over. Every time they do it, it's hilarious. Every freaking time. I mean,
I gotta watch it.
oh, you gotta watch.
So you have to
stupid.
watch
Got to get some tough natives. Tough natives is redundant.
Jim. I always love that too. The first two are like, yep. The other guy's like, well, I gotta tell you a story about what I'm thinking.
right. He just got the extra line in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always good.
It's really good, man.
The
It's
guy that
so-
created both of that and Letterkenny.
Yeah, Jared
Jared
Kiso.
Kelso, or
Yeah.
Kiso, I think.
Kiso,
Yeah.
he is a genius.
I haven't got it. I've just started watching a little bit of Letterkenny, but I'm actually going back and watching Short.
Shoresy's better. Yeah, Shoresy's definitely better than
I feel
Letterkenny.
like Letterkenny, from what I've seen so far, Letterkenny is like taking the dumb comedy to a dumber level. Shoresy's just dumb fun comedy.
Yeah.
And it's not going quite to the dumbest level, even though it reminds me a lot of Ted Lasso, because overseas and up in Canada, they use a lot of words that we don't use as much in America because they're a little bit more derogatory. It's just part of their language. And,
Yeah, like that one. What's that one word that rhymes with runt? I don't remember.
exactly.
Is it on Netflix or what's it on?
Hulu.
Hulu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Canadian show. Hulu owns all those Canadian
Yeah.
rights to everything.
Ryan
And,
Reynolds will probably buy it here before too long.
right? Yeah, probably. Probably.
It's very good.
Hey, that's what we need. We need Ryan Reynolds to buy an ECHL hockey team. That'd be cool.
That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
That'd be
He
great.
sold his soccer team, so
Oh, he's got money.
Yeah,
After they
right.
won.
I mean, he had money even after buying the soccer team.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah, wait.
he does well,
Yeah.
as they say.
Pretty sure Deadpool and Wolverine made him a.
Oh no, that Mint Mobile. That's what got him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it was
it. Oh, God.
Speaking of buying things, I think we need to think about pooling our money together and buying the Kentucky Owl brand. What do you think?
Hell yeah, let's do it. What do they want? 40 million?
That's a great question. I don't think it'll
100
be that
million?
high. I think it'll be less than 10.
What was it you were saying that somebody just bought a brand back?
Well-
that they had sold and
Yeah, the old Carter the old Carter distillery went up for auction. That whole brand and distillery went up for auction. It was ordered by the court due to a divorce proceedings. And there were over 60 bids, but the original owner, Mark Carter, got the winning bid, which is a little over 18 million.
Okay.
But there was a lot of, there's a lot of product there. There's a distillery. There's the real estate. There's a lot there than just the name.
I'm assuming all the licenses are still valid and intact.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically
Yeah.
a ready to run
Oh,
operation.
they're ready to roll.
He
Turnkey.
sounds like he actually got a bar.
Turkey.
Turnkey operation.
I think he did. I think they're gonna, Old Carter, if you're not aware, it's a local Kentucky brand where they've sourced barrels, and they're all premium. They're all expensive bottles, right? I don't think a bottle's under $200. But they want to take that and try to nationally just distribute it and make it a national brand. And
Okay.
I think it's got the chops to do it, because the whiskey's good.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're starting there.
Yeah.
Now, you can't necessarily sell everything as a $200 bottle, right? I mean,
I don't know.
They've
man.
done
as a
well-
national-
they've done well with it before.
as a local,
that's
but
their-
as a national, I
I
mean,
think that's their model.
They have a cult following too. I mean, I know Dan Kidd, Heavy Bourbon on Instagram, and then Garrett Lynette. They were both members down there, and they absolutely love it. And they tout their stuff all the time.
I mean, Dan's
Yes.
Dan's probably got 30 bottles in his house. I mean, I would imagine his bar. He's got a lot of old Carter. Or he did.
I don't know. As soon as you hit 200, I mean, really anything over $100, I start
be
getting I get the sphincter clench on that one.
Yeah.
It's going to make me rethink, like, is this really where I want to spend that much money? How many other bottles could I get? How many picks could I go buy?
Yeah.
You better be putting something out that really is spectacular.
Right.
Yeah, like you said, that $100 price point, it's easier to swallow, kind of to buy, because it's going to be decent. But when you get over 100, that you really question everything.
Yeah, I think
Or I do.
part of it with them is all these barrels they're sourcing are very old.
Yeah.
So, you're talking 12-year 12-year, 15-year, maybe 10-year. We're not talking 4-year whiskey.
Yeah.
So,
Barrel comes at a
you know,
premium to start
the
with.
barrel's
so,
already expensive when you're starting.
Yeah, but come on. I mean, Rob's got freaking like 70-year-old whiskey, some Jim Beam back there. You got to give it to him.
I'll sell it to him for 10 grand right now.
You did pour another one of those. I don't think we've talked about that yet.
Oh, it was mud.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was mud.
You
Yeah,
never know
it
what
was
you're
tainted.
getting
It was tainted.
with the old Dusties.
Dude cracked it. It was like, oh God, there's a smell. No, it was bad.
And
And
it
you
was a
didn't
screw
even like leave a little sample bottle to be here, guys. This smells terrible.
You would
Try
no.
Smell it.
All right, that's
Smell that.
So
Yeah, that's your
that's my department.
and we should say what it was. It was a screw cap. It
was a
wasn't a
screw
cork
cap.
Yeah, it was a
bottle.
cork.
Yeah.
That's a good point. If you're looking at purchasing a dusty bottle and it's a screw cap top versus a cork top, I mean, look, at least if it's corked, it's probably going to disintegrate or it's going to fall apart. You can still strain it out.
Yeah.
If it's a screw cap and it gets tainted, though, it's
just
done.
offense.
You-
There's nothing you can do.
Think about that too. I mean, that was made in this. The bottle was made in the 70s, and you got a ceramic on ceramic. There's no way you can get that.
There's no seal.
Yeah, it's
there's
not.
no
Correct,
rubber
yeah.
to seal it.
Well,
So
they
it's
didn't
like-
have the technology back then that we
No.
do now. So
No. And they were expecting people were going to buy it and drink it. They weren't expecting it to be safe. for
people
70
buy
years.
bourbon and don't drink it.
I know.
you know,
I know.
another thing
Not at my
too
house.
is where were they stored, right? If they
Right.
were
Yeah.
stored in a garage, I mean, there's a, we know in our garages we have all kinds of fumes from
Yeah.
chemicals and gasoline and things
Temperature
like that.
changes.
All those things will affect whiskey if you're storing it in there. So don't store your whiskey in a freaking garage, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
Store it somewhere away from gasoline at least.
Yeah.
Oh shit! All that liquor from the wedding is still out in my barn.
Well, at
I
least
guess
you-
that's probably
But you don't
at
have
least you don't have,
bars.
like-
But it hasn't been there for like 4 years.
No. It's been there since mid
at
October.
least you don't have race gas and tire smoke in your garage.
No,
like
I
some
don't.
people we know.
Wonder who that could be.
Other will.
I might have done a garage burnout.
Burns,
too.
what's that? What's what Will Ferrell say on Anchorman? It's like when Paul Rudd pulls out the Panther cologne, he's like stings the nostrils,
It's putrid.
burns the nostrils.
60% of the time it works. Every
Different time.
yeah.
Yes. So yesterday we had Sharon came out, which is Isaiah Carroll's mom. Shout out to Sharon and Isaiah for having her come out here and do that. She set up the bar again with the charcuterie and absolutely crushed it again. If
That
you've
was
not-
pro.
If
That
you've
was
never
pro.
been
That was
out here,
amazing.
and she doesn't do this for a living or ever, it's like, oh, I've never done this before. Let's do it. Beautiful, absolutely
It was.
gorgeous. And so if you've never been out here on our Christmas party every year, we've done this for 3 years in a row now. You got to get here next year.
That was like $1,000 setup.
Oh, easy,
yeah.
easy.
Like
yeah.
if you're like, and I know people that they run a business where all they do is just
Cater.
build out, they cater
Oh, yeah.
charcuterie. And it's
If you
incredible.
guys check out the Facebook page or whatever, I think there was pictures
There's a
posted
video
of it.
Yeah.
yeah.
See it.
Yeah, they're on all the
So,
socials. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that was a great
my wife saw it yesterday at dinner. She wants to hire her to come do our Christmas.
Yes.
Call her. I
Absolutely.
think she does it only for friends. And I told her, I said, you should just start a business. I mean, she could be making six figures easily. Just go to the executive, businesses downtown. And say, you got an executive meeting coming up. I'll set you up, and
Yep.
she can make tons of.
It
money
was
doing But I
stunning.
don't think she wants to do it as a business. She's just doing it.
That's
Well, she's talented. I
Yeah,
mean,
she's
that
very
was,
talented,
that
was a
was,
stunning display
yeah.
and very good.
and it was tasty. Yes,
It was very good. It didn't just look good; it tasted good.
yes.
My glass is empty.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
So she had these little cranberries that were like dusted in sugar,
Yeah.
like it's
Frosted.
crystallized sugar. It was they were
Oh,
that's
it's funny. It's like if you eat a cranberry, it's like, oh, they're a little bitter.
But
Little,
not
little-
those, yeah. They were
And-
great.
But she's like, when I asked her first time, I said, what do you do with those? She's like, I put them in a bag with sugar and shake them. I'm like, that's it.
Don't ask questions you don't want the answers to.
I mean, but they're delicious. Chloe took what was left, and she's been mowing on them herself. She
and
loves
they
those
look festive, right?
Oh, yeah.
It looks like
yeah, it looks like decoration. You're like, is that actually decoration or is that edible? I'm not 100% sure.
Everything's edible. It's just
Well,
whether or not
it is
it agrees with
palatable.
you afterwards.
Yeah,
Okay, so we're gonna switch over to a wheated bourbon. This is a Larceny single barrel.
Oh,
So Larceny and Heaven Hill just started doing single barrel releases this year,
Mhm.
and this is one from Rural Inn that they just got in. This is clocking in at 122.9 proof.
okay.
It is 7 years old. It is warehouse number. I don't know if it even matters, but it was floor 3.
Yeah, that's my second favorite.
Rick House W2. Yeah.
I have no idea.
No, I have
I
no
always
idea.
worry about my W-2s.
So we've been a fan of Larceny barrel proof,
Yeah,
Yes.
especially the last couple of years have been really hitting
they
pretty
have.
nicely.
You still got whiskey, so
I know. You go ahead.
I'll start.
I'll go back.
We'll get it back to you.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
would say the larceny. I mean, if you're like us and think that you're not a weeder fan.
Yeah.
You need to try the barrel proof larceny, or
Barrel
one of
proof.
these single barrels would probably be fine too.
And the thing is, I think if the people that like regular larceny, good on you. Again, you get a bottle for a good price. I don't really like the lower proof weeders as much, but man, some of these higher proof ones I've really enjoyed.
What's Heaven Hill's other? Is it Bernheim that's their other wheat?
Bernheim, yes.
Yeah,
Which I'm not a big Bernheim fan.
no, it's
But-
aggressive wheat.
I've never
Yeah.
had
Well,
a,
it's a wheat whiskey. It's not
It
a
is.
bourbon.
right, not a bourbon, not a wheated bourbon. Yeah,
I've never had it. Does Bernheim do like cask strength stuff too?
They do. They have.
Okay.
They do.
They do 2 releases a year. They do a fall release and a spring release, and they're pretty aggressive.
It's like a April, October kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
The nose on this is pretty aggressive.
it is. Stings the nostrils.
So this may be the first. I know Parks Place has done one. I think a few other places have done a single barrel larceny pig, but this may be the first one hitting the stores.
I'm kind of gonna pull a Chris Gordon on this one and just say it's good.
It's good.
Shut up,
It's
Chris.
good. Oh, Chris is here. Yeah,
Chris
shout out
is
to
here.
Chris. Hey,
It's
Chris.
good.
And Chris can hear us because we have the speaker set
Yeah.
up. It's,
I think
Yeah.
Chris wants to see how Chris
oh,
thinks.
Chris wants to know if he thinks it's good or not.
Chris needs to find.
So,
He'll be the judge
So
of
we're going for
whether
the
or not
court
it's
approval.
good.
so Scott, what note do you get on this?
Yes, there it is. Give your balls a tug.
Yeah.
Tick bucker.
Yeah,
That
so-
does not drink hot.
no,
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 it
it
doesn't.
doesn't.
Not at all.
No,
It's
it's
sweet.
it is like it's sweet, but it's not sweet wheat. It's
No.
yeah,
It's almost confectionery. Like
Yeah.
yeah. And I know, Chris, that you like those confectioners bourbons. Yeah. That what was it, the rabbit hole that you had? Was that right, or is it Kentucky Owl? Was it a rabbit hole?
sucralay, yeah,
Yeah.
sucralay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah.
good. That's very good.
Yeah, that is really good.
There's a note on here. I can't quite.
Yep. Yeah. I like this.
That's very sweet.
That's very good.
It's very
Yeah.
sweet. It's
There's
to me,
something
this
on
is
the
actually this would be a very, very nice holiday bourbon.
Yeah.
Like this just makes me kind of think, without having like a port finish. Like
Right.
I love when you have like Midwinter Nights Dram, you think Christmas right away.
Yeah.
But this is definitely kind of a Christmassy bourbon.
It's got a very festive taste.
It's that's the cool thing about doing single barrel picks. This is off profile from larceny.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
As just as we would say, our Elijah Craig barrel pick that we did here for Final Third, some people would say is off profile
Yeah.
from what you normally get from Elijah Craig.
From Craig, yeah.
Ooh, I like what it does to the cigar too.
I gotta
Yeah.
try it with the cigar.
I gotta say,
Make the cigar smoother.
I've been really impressed with larceny and these barrel proofs. This is a really impressive single barrel. I just never would have thought that would have been the case. I
Yeah.
would have never thought that would have matched up with my palate, and it does really, really well.
And you're exactly right. Of
The
all
retro.
the barrel proof
Yeah.
larcenies I've
The
had,
retro
this
was
is
amazing.
Totally different.
Yeah.
Totally
It's
different.
not, it's not what I expected at
Hail
all.
with this.
Yeah, the retro hail on that is great.
Oh yeah, really, really nicely balanced, not too aggressive.
Put the peppers back.
The pepper's there,
Yeah.
but you get more spice. There's more
more
baking spice. There's, yeah, I mean, it
Oh, that
really,
pepper hits
It's hard.
at the end.
yeah,
It's like,
little
oh, there
late.
it is finally.
Yep.
Yep.
Found it.
Found it.
That is good.
Boy, it's
There
back.
she is.
So Grant, let's talk a little bit about your Tinder account.
Let's not.
Red flags.
Basically-
Red flags.
Non-existent.
Abort.
She has red flags tattooed on her chest. You might have to ask some questions, buddy. I'm just saying. Oh, that was a heart. My bad.
That was a heart, yeah.
Heart.
Just kidding,
I
buddy.
was waiting.
Yeah, you knew it was coming.
We won't go too hard after it.
I will say, Grant, you wanted to come on and talk about something, and I didn't
Yes.
even know anything about this. So when you started talking about it, I was very interested. Tell us, you went out and did something out at the cemetery, right?
Yeah, so yesterday was Reese Across America, and the town of Pendleton did very well. They put a great show on. There was a rep from every branch of the service, Space Force, Marines, Army, Coast Guard, all of it, and did a very nice speech talking about, freedom isn't free. There's so many people
Comes at a
that have
very high
lost their
cost.
life
Yep.
for us to be able to do what we do. And so it was across the nation, they had all these truck drivers that do it for free. A lot of Walmart drivers would go, all these wreaths came from Maine and they delivered them all over the country. So all these guys donated their time.
Yeah, these are the owner operator guys that are that just basically spend their own money on the fuel, which is a lot in these days.
Yeah.
Yep. They
Well, and
go
don't
across
the wreaths,
country.
the wreaths are all, they come from a tree farm or a Christmas tree farm.
Yeah, they're all handmade.
They're all
And
handmade.
They're all donated, I believe, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah.
Everything's
Yeah,
donated.
yeah.
And then you go and they have here at the big cemetery in Pendleton, there's over 600 veterans buried over there. And so you were able, you can go and you purchase the wreaths and you lay them, you know, it's really special. You go and they recommend you say the person's name on the headstone and just kind of take a minute and really appreciate what they did.
Yeah.
And you lay that wreath down and
Oh,
it
very
was
nice.
very special. There's a lot of people out there.
I was gonna say you had one that was from the 20s,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm not mistaken, and everything. So I mean, everybody thinks about the normal wars. You know, everybody thinks about like
World War I,
Iraq,
II.
World War I and II, and everything like that. But there's a lot of other, there's a lot of other guys that lost their life in service that wasn't attributed to an active war state
Right.
and everything. So it's it's amazing that there's these these foundations out there and stuff like that, and the stuff they do. These guys in refrigerated trailers. So not only does the truck require diesel, but so does the trailer.
Yep.
And they get these wreaths, you said, from Maine,
Yep.
and drive them all the way here, and not only here, but
All over
everywhere
the
across the
country.
country.
Yeah.
So there's guys that pick up wreaths in Maine and drive them to California
Wow.
on their own dime.
Yep. On their own dime. And yeah, they said Walmart was a lot of their drivers, a lot of the Walmart drivers, because Walmart, they have their faults, but when it comes to drivers, they hire a lot of veterans. for
Yeah.
Sure.
That's good.
And that's the thing too, in the trucking industry, there are a lot of veterans that drive.
Yep.
And
There is,
and obviously they have a passion for the guys that laid the way for them.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. I wish I'd have known that was happening. I would like to go out next year and make sure you let us all know. I'd like
Yeah,
to go
well,
out there
they
and do
didn't
that.
really publicize it around here
No.
as much as they should have, I don't think. But
And there's a lot of those that happen. Like in Middletown, they have the wall that heals that comes. That's the Vietnam Memorial Wall.
Mhm.
They have a traveling wall, and every year Middletown always makes sure that they're that they have it set up in Middletown. A lot of people come out. Last year they had a Huey come in, and they were doing Huey rides
Oh wow.
really,
and everything. And you want to talk about
I would
taking
do
off in that Huey, and you want to talk about nostalgia and getting the feels. That hit me hard.
oh yeah,
But when I was on the police department out there, I would go out there every year and do security for it. And we'd sit out there all night watching that wall. And you sitting out there with it lit up at night, just staring at that wall, that was rough.
Mhm.
Yeah. I had a few moments.
Emotionally tough.
Yeah.
I had a few moments out there. So, but yeah, any of these foundations, get behind them,
Exactly. Yeah.
just like Grant gave his time to go out there and do that. And I know it hit him hard. He felt it, the wall that heals, that's a great foundation. Anytime, just share it. If it comes up and it hits your Facebook profile or whatever, hits your feed, repost it, share it, get it out there, get involved. Most of these don't cost you anything but your time, but the way, how much it hits you after the fact, it's so much worth your time.
yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely sometimes when I wish some folks that have the freedom to not appreciate that.
Yeah.
I wish that they would go out and experience something, because when you realize, hey, even you who may disagree with everything that America stands for, have the freedom to do that here,
Yeah.
and that there's people that paid that price to do it,
Yeah.
it does hit you a little different.
You
Right.
go to other countries and bitch and moan about your government, you're probably going to be in trouble.
You might
Oh,
get
yeah.
shot,
Oh,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was really tough too. There was one that it was his dad. The guy was there. His dad was a prisoner of war and went missing in action, and they have no idea, nothing. It's no idea where he ended up, whatever. And when that guy got up and he spoke a little bit, I mean,
Yeah.
I teared up. There's no
This
question
was
about
his
it.
dad that he never met also.
Yeah.
So he was born to his dad MIA.
Yep.
Wow.
Never
and
got to meet.
Never got to meet him. So, yep.
Yeah. And I think, we've been, the podcast, and I know you guys here at Final Third have been very supportive of veteran causes,
Absolutely.
especially, our veterans that are here with us still today.
Yeah.
This is not an easy time of year from a mental health perspective.
Yep.
No.
A lot of depression kicks in at this time for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's important to support everybody who's going through depression, but certainly our veterans that have, sacrificed so much for us.
Well, it's a hard thing for, military families right this time of year too, because a lot of the guys and women are not able to come home for the holidays to spend time with family.
Yep.
And it's like, so this is a hard time of the year, military families, regardless if you're already retired or whatever. It's just, it's a tough time.
Yeah.
So
you have veterans in your circle of influence, man. Make sure you're loving on them this
check
time of
on
year
them
and check on them.
See how they're doing.
Invite them over for your holidays. Bring them for your Christmas dinner. Because I mean, a lot of these veterans are feeling like they're lone wolves on their own, just sitting at the home. Again, being depressed about the time of year. So
they're never going to ask for help. You always need to reach out and check on them.
So do you guys have any holiday season traditions? And I'll give you an example. Janelle and I, one, we think it's important to take care of the people that are always there for us, so there's always a little holiday bonus tip for my people that, give me a pedicure
always,
or my, my barber, my favorite bartenders, whatever. Sometimes it's about going to a random restaurant and leaving a crazy large tip, things like that. And we love doing that stuff, right? When you're blessed, you want to be a blessing to others. I know some people take Christmas Day and go work, at a homeless shelter and serve food, and they've done it with their family forever. Doing the tips and trying to find some random folks that you just think, they didn't do anything special. There was nothing crazy today. It's the holiday season. It's a great time when people sometimes stress about bills and can I give my kids gifts or whatever?
Yeah.
People that are hurting, to your point, reaching out to, some of those veterans that you may have in your life and making sure that they're okay.
Yeah.
Lots of times people that lose family members on holidays. My wife lost her mom on Christmas Day. And so Christmas Day is always kind of a double-edged sword for her. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is there any Christmas traditions that you guys do that your family
I will
has
say
done?
back to what you just said, I definitely think that if you're going out for dinner with your family or just you, whatever, during this time of year, whatever you normally tip, double it. Just give them a big tip, because this is the time of year a lot of servers, bartenders, people work at restaurants, they really rely on the holiday season to set them up for the first quarter, because the first quarter a lot of times is a little slower.
Yeah.
So this is the time for them to actually build their money. And you know what? If they do a great job, give them a big tip. If they are struggling, give them a big tip. I mean, they're out there working because
your bartenders aren't going to make money because all these assholes do this dry January bullshit. Just drink already. Come on.
Dry January. Is that when you actually don't drink bourbon, but you drink a lot of Cabernet?
Right. There you go. Okay. That's that. Hey, I can get behind that dry January. That one works for me. You have to have some wine in here. Okay, Rob?
And there's nothing wrong with taking a break for your liver. It's fine.
That's
Make
fine.
sure you're in good shape, but
Doesn't mean you're weak. We're just going to call you weak.
Bunch of pussies.
Tit fucker.
I will say one thing that, and I won't take credit for it because this is really my wife's idea and she runs with it and does a great job. But basically the day after Thanksgiving, we put an entire spread out on our front porch of soft drinks, bottled water, Gatorades, snacks for the delivery drivers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's a great idea.
We appreciate what you're doing. These delivery drivers, they're getting killed. I mean, they're working 12, 15-hour days, and that's even not enough sometimes. And they're always I was surprised at how appreciative they are, and they'll always make a little comment on our Ring doorbell thanking us. And it makes you feel good that it's something small, but it's just something nice to let them know that we're thinking about them. We appreciate all the extra work and effort they're putting in to get everybody's Christmas gifts and packages out to them. And so we keep it stocked every day,
I love that. Love that.
idea.
That's an awesome tradition.
Let's say something we used to do a lot, especially when the kids were growing up. It's a good life lesson period. is, you know, every community you live in, there are families that are struggling really bad during this time of year. You don't have to take care of all of them, but maybe adopt a family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, you can talk to people around your community to find out what families are actually needing help. And you know what? A couple $100 can get their kids a Christmas or maybe a holiday meal or something. But yeah, I mean, adopting a family is always something that we really enjoy doing.
Well, there was that the new trend that I'd like to get behind is a lot of the people would have their kids find a lot of their, you know, the toys they got last year that they don't play with anymore.
Yeah.
And they say, okay, well, if you want Christmas, then you need to get rid of some of the stuff you have, which is great for house cleaning and making some space for new toys. But they would get their kids together and just say, hey, you know, find some of the toys you don't necessarily want or you want to get rid of to make room for your new toys, and we'll donate those off. And so, I mean, a lot of times, like Toys for Tots and stuff like that, if you're at Walmart grocery shopping, grab a $20 toy or whatever, throw it in the box on your way out. You know, have a Toys for Tots box set up. You know, even at the Dollar Tree, they have a donation box set up where you can go to the counter and just be like, oh, $5, and they'll throw five things in the box.
Thank you to sponsor Deadwood Live. Derek with Deadwood Live is producing top quality live edge products as well as bourbon themed furniture. If you've been in the lounge, you've seen the custom live edge table and barrel stools produced by Derek. Be sure to give him a like and follow on Facebook at Deadwood Live. That's DED Wood Live.
Right.
I know as car people, me and my daughter would, they used to have what was called the New Year's lap of 465. And it would always, they'd have they'd find either like a fallen police officer family or a fallen veterans family that was struggling in hard times all of a sudden, you know, due to traumatic events. And we have a massive car show up and meet up New Year's Day, first thing in the morning. We would all show up, throw money in a bucket, and all the proceeds would go to that family. And then we'd just take a cruise around 465 in one lap as car people.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, people ruined it for us and trying to do pulls and, you know, act a fool. So we can't do it anymore. But that was one thing that I really missed doing, was getting together New Year's Day and everybody just coming together for a family and donating a bunch of money toward a family.
Yeah.
But yeah, if reach out to any of your local agencies and find a family that need or a charity or anything that you want to get behind, and just throw some money or throw some items at it.
And Lisa just reminded me too. Last year we actually we talked to our local community here in Ingalls and talked to the local government and found out there's a couple of families that were struggling with their utilities getting shut off. And so she was able to help them out with that, to keep their lights and their heat on.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Again, you're talking, the economy can be a little rough for some people. Some people are having a hard time finding a good job, whatever. But that's a good way to help them. And you know what? Maybe you pay for 2 or 3 months to kind of help them get through the next couple of months. It's going to be a struggle. But
by the way, you can do that for schools as well, like school lunch.
Yeah, school lunch.
Some of these kids get really in debt, and so you can go to the school, you can go to your local government offices. You don't need to know who, it doesn't matter, right? It's just a matter of, hey, I want to put this, just put it to whoever's got the biggest debt. If you want to throw $100 and just say who's got the longest, you know, with outstanding bills, or whoever you think, you know, these people.
And there's
would you
many
please do it?
kids that are behind on paying for their lunches.
So school lunch program. Yep.
And
some
every
of them,
school, it didn't matter what school.
I'll say there's other school programs as well. So Janelle and I still give to the Pendleton Band because there's kids that want to be in band. And ask Doc, right? Shout out to Doc. I mean,
not cheap.
He's paying some pretty significant bills. Now, I know his boy's doing a good job of paying for a lot of his own and some of this DCI stuff, but just going into the, you know, 8th grade and 6th, 7th, 8th grade and trying to get an instrument and paying for all the fees. And then if you want to be in marching band, you got to pay for a uniform. You got the trips, you got all that stuff, right? I mean, there's good ways to donate locally that really help people and help them to have, you know, not just the day-to-day, but even some of the extra experiences that it's easy to take for granted.
Yeah. Well, and I would even go on the opposite side of this too. It's like, I know a lot of people are like, I don't have the money to be able to donate.
Doesn't have to be money.
Doesn't have to be much.
I'm like, you know what? Then if you're going to have a Christmas dinner, invite your neighbor to come hang out with you. and have dinner with them because they may not be able to have a Christmas dinner or whatever.
Take them some leftovers.
Take them
Yep.
leftovers.
Yep.
You can always engage, or just invite them over to have a Christmas, a gathering.
Yep.
Maybe just have cookies and stuff, whatever. Just engage with people this time of year because people need people.
The big
Desperately.
thing that my
Yeah.
family would do is our local food bank through our church. We would always, around starting about Thanksgiving, my parents and I, we would go out and shop, and we would go buy hams and everything, big hams for them to give out to every single person that came in there. On top of everything else they're getting, is because you get a lot of these people, they're not going to have meals. And,
Right.
give time at a food bank. If you can't give money, just give time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Sometimes that's what you got.
Door.
Door.
Sorry, it bothers me.
Well, we can talk about too. At the fuel game last night, we had the teddy
Yeah.
bear toss.
That
was my first
that was great.
experience of that. That was insane.
That was so great. I got rid of 2 trash bags of fucking stuffed animals from my house.
You're the only one at the table that might know this.
Okay.
Did they break a record? They were over 6,800.
No.
6,853 bears.
I don't think they broke a record.
Really?
I think they've been over 7,000 before.
Wow.
Yeah. And there
That's
was,
insane.
I mean, that was a ton of bears.
Yeah.
I think moving to Fishers, obviously there's some new fans. Will, I know that you didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, I
'Cause-
was disappointed. I should have paid attention to the email chain. I probably didn't even look at it this
Yep.
week. Kind of a
And
busy
that's-
week at work.
Probably a lot of people.
everybody will learn. I bet next year they set a record.
What
Oh, yeah.
What we did do is we did help out and toss over the ones that hit us in the back of the head and got those onto the ice. So they,
Yeah, some people need to work on their throwing arms.
Here, that kid needs a beer.
Yeah. Hey, man, I made it to the glass, but not quite over. And I'm 14 rows up.
Hey, my screaming monkey made it all the way to the ice.
Nice. Nice job.
And shout out to your cousin.
Oh, my
wow.
goodness. All right. So my cousin
Yeah.
Clint, he is a chiropractor, Brockla chiropractic over in Anderson.
I know that was your cousin.
Yep. He's put him and his wife are both there as chiropractors, and they do acupuncture and things like that. It's a lot of kind of alternative medicine, and they've had great success stories. Just, I mean, they're awesome. They're doing a great job in the community. He's there with his family for his sister, and I'm trying to remember if it was like his sister and like one of their kids, and there's like 3 of them that all have a birthday on the same day. And so they're there celebrating birthday, right? And having fun, and the fuel are out there warming up, and a puck comes up and hits him right in the friggin' eye.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, squared, like flat. So he got cut on top and on bottom. He sent me a picture this
Busted
morning.
blood vessels in his eye.
Yeah,
this was
I mean,
early
it was-
too. This was during practice.
It was during
This is during
spring. It
warm-ups.
was warm-ups. Yeah. Lisa, come over here and look at this picture, because this is
It's brutal.
Yeah.
yeah.
It
We'll
looked like
get
it-
somebody's response of seeing it. This is the next morning.
Well,
Yeah, that
before
was-
they put bandages on him. I mean, he looked like he was just a massive fight on the ice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was.
And he got a kick out of it.
Hey,
good shiny.
Frost rubber, baby. Let's go.
That was last night, and I think he sent me pictures from. He's okay. He's just fine.
Wow.
I mean, there's a great picture where he's got. I'm not going to post
It's
these 'cause
ironic
I
if
don't.
anybody's
I don't want
following
to.
the
I don't want
game
to post
right now.
Clint's picture without his permission. If he says
If anybody's following the
That's
Kansas
what I
City
said.
Chiefs game right now, some guy just got poked in the eye, and it's just funny the correlation between this eye injury and that eye injury.
I did text Clint and said, buddy, you got to come up with a better story than I got hit with a hockey puck, because that's pretty good. But with
Yeah.
a shiner like that, like Lisa said, well, you should see the other guy.
Oh no, she
Yeah,
fell down the stairs. I swear.
Ouch. Ouch.
Man, I ran into a door. I walked into a door.
One thing I'm kind of curious about is all he got was a puck.
Right?
Yeah.
Where was the fuel on that one?
Right,
Saying,
there should have been
We're going to get you a jersey, and every player's going
Right,
to sign it. Here
right.
you go.
Something, a poster that got signed. I mean,
Come on, fuel.
I was
Give
right
him
there
that.
with Scott when Janelle was explaining what had happened. And my first question was, how often does this happen, Scott? As a new hockey fan, do I need to wear a helmet every time I go in
It
the
was,
arena?
it was funny
Yes, you do.
because Lisa was terrified because the first game we went to, there was a guy 5 seats over from us.
Yeah.
The guy hit with a puck,
Right.
and we're on the side, we're on the flank where there's no net. So it was a deflection that came up into the stands, and it smoked the guy in the temple. He got it right here, and it was just a small cut. But
I'm just
she's
curious.
like, I'm just wearing a helmet every time.
So Clint did look
I was
this
like,
up.
well, if
and-
you pay attention,
Yeah,
you know,
Clint did look this up and sent me just one statistic that was from the year 2000. He said there's 127 NHL games and 122 people were hit with pucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
game.
So one per game.
One per game.
Yeah. And that's what
You got to keep your head on a
So,
swivel
yeah.
out there.
Yeah,
stay off your phone and
Yeah.
watch the game.
Yeah.
when I worked in my last company, Draper, I was in gym equipment, and I remember when the hockey arenas were all putting in the net around the end, and it was required. They all had to do it by a specific time, and our company could not get it done in time. But I'm like, oh, how long is it going to take before they put that net all the way around? Now, I don't like looking through a net,
No.
but at Fisher's, they could probably do it because every seat is low and you can see pretty well. But again,
Yeah, but you
There's
want that
something-
element of danger.
There is a little. I mean,
you
look,
want that
I
excitement.
agree, but
I
I'm
get
thinking
putting him on the
safety-wise.
end. I can't imagine being at a hockey game at the end and not having that net there. That scared the shit out of me.
That would
be-
They're hitting 90-mile-an-hour pucks.
Yeah.
Well, we
I
had,
mean-
what was it? Probably 6 net calls
Oh yeah,
last night just on shots on goal.
Oh, yeah,
that went up
easy.
into the net.
easy.
There was
yeah.
at least 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I gotta ask, well, because you were last night, you were in different seats.
Yeah,
You got
we were
RA seats.
we were second row off the ice.
So
and-
did it happen where you got like where you weren't paying attention for 1 second?
No, because you scared me into enough to know that I was constantly. So I was never. But the sound of the puck hitting. I mean, because we had a couple pucks hit right in front of us, and they hit high. They hit high on the glass, and man, it is. You see it coming right
It's
at
like
you. You still
It's like a
flinch
gun
when you see
shooting.
it.
I mean, it is loud.
Well, even some of those checks into the boards are loud.
Yes, they
They
are.
were right through the whole stadium.
So question on the ice on this arena. I know how it was at the fairgrounds. It was a shit show. People always put their beer on the wall.
On the ledge, yeah.
Do
Yeah.
they still have that ledge?
So the ledge is there.
because it was so funny. You
I didn't see
four
anybody.
beers, someone get checked.
They got cup holders, don't they?
Yeah, I didn't see anybody with beers.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
there's
cup
cup
holders
holders
help
there. The cup holders got rid of them setting stuff up there.
Good, good.
And without the draft beer, like they have so few drafts there that
Yeah.
I don't think they'll have dollar beer night.
That's good. That's good.
That sucks. Are
Well,
you kidding?
yeah,
I
yeah,
love when they stack the
say-
cups up
yeah.
on against the
Oh.
glass.
Oh, yeah.
And
Beer
then,
minimum.
because you'd have like
Check
the
it
fraternities,
too.
the frat boys would all come in. They're all drinking dollar beers all night and getting a little drunk, and they're stacking up, and they go all the way to the very top. You can't go over the glass.
Right.
They'll
go
come down
up
and be
to the
like,
top.
you can go up to the top of the glass.
One check
and
and
then
they're gone.
One check in.
and boom, come crashing down.
I will say, like from the beer perspective, as a season ticket holder, I like now that Fisher's is moving the beer around. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
at least the draft beers, they're not all the same places. So if you didn't get a King Jug Earl of Citra last time because it wasn't convenient for you, next time it's going to be up where you're easy to get.
Yeah. I think
Advice.
there's
Well, that's growing pains. They went through and they actually responded to a lot of the
concerns.
feed
Yeah, the feedback. Yeah.
from the first couple games, and I noticed a lot of things that actually changed.
Parking, getting in and out. I don't know how it was for you last night, Will, but I mean, we were.
Yeah,
right
I
out.
mean, it wasn't fair. We already had a good parking pass.
Oh, you had the right. You had the. Yep.
But we got out pretty fast, but I
Yeah.
still don't think it would have been terrible.
No, it looked like everything's they're figuring it out. There's a lot of room up there in both areas where it's the concourses where you can get food and drinks. That if they want to get some carts to have draft beer, they can get it. They
Yeah.
could do it. I'm sure that they've probably got plenty of storage right now because they haven't had years of shit stacking up, right?
Yeah.
And they've got electrical everywhere, so they can get what they need where they need with point of sale systems. They got Wi-Fi everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm sure that if there's enough clamor or they decide it's financially feasible and worthwhile, they'll do things. They'll change
Yeah.
things around and get some.
They had
stuff
done a
there.
great job too. I noticed the lines were way shorter this round
Yeah,
than the first couple games.
yeah.
And they
could
were getting people in and
some of
out.
some of the consumers in there are realizing you can go different places. Not everyone, because we saw.
You're
on
right.
the
Some of
first
it's
night,
people.
There was like line, and I walked by it and go to the next one. I'm like, okay, there's only like 4 people in line. Everyone jumps in that first line. I think people are starting to learn the arena a little bit, and it won't take long.
No, I actually have to say, all things considered, they are doing an excellent job.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I've been giving a little bit of hell about hey, the bar needs a little more selection,
Yeah.
but those aren't small buys.
Well,
You want to see what's going on.
There was that one complaint of the really loud guy behind the guy, really, interrupting his game experience, screaming the whole game.
And that guy, his wife had a cowbell too, probably, or something.
I don't know about that.
So it turns out that it was not me because
It
they
was
said
not him,
something
'cause they
about a
said-
bunch of profanity.
Yeah, it was a bunch of obscenities. Profanity.
I don't yell cuss words. Now I cuss quite a bit, and I cuss when I'm talking to the people around me, but I don't yell. I don't scream cuss words at the game. I don't do any sexual innuendo.
Well, that's one of those things that, if you're a new season ticket holder,
I think
Don't-
ref number 50 heard quite a lot from you last night.
Drop the fucking puck already.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
but it feels like I did feel like a lot of fans that were like brand new to hockey didn't understand that it's a sporting event. You yell at sporting events.
Yep.
You're not sitting here just watching a game. Basketball. No one does this shit about
Hey,
basketball.
hey,
Well, there was a couple in front of us last night that I think that was their first game, and they didn't understand a lot what was going on. And luckily, the guy they were with was explaining a bunch to them. By the end of the night, they were like, "Icing, what the hell?"
Right.
So it was great to watch people that had no idea what they were getting into, and then all of a sudden, halfway through the game, they were hooked.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling they'll be back.
I loved
That's
hearing.
awesome.
I loved when you texted that it's getting to be an emotional roller coaster.
It is.
That means you're getting invested.
It
That
is.
means you're starting to get it, and then pretty soon you're going to be like, "What the hell? To get that guy out of the crease!" And
You're long. He's wearing a scally cap.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Something crazy, Rob.
Don't reach too far.
Baby steps, Rob. Baby step.
All right.
I'm thirsty. What do we got?
Empty. What are we doing here?
Let's go with this bad boy here. So,
All right. So tell us the story behind this bottle.
a good friend of mine, a coworker, him and his wife are bourbon enthusiasts, and they took a trip down to Bardstown, the Bourbon Trail last weekend, and they stopped by Preservation Distillery, which is in Bardstown. Preservation, I don't know a lot about Preservation. I know they make the Old St. Nick line.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of premium product, premium lines.
Chris, you'll get your pour.
He's like, I'm
Over your shoulder.
I'm ready for this. Ready, man.
As soon as that bottle was picked up, here comes.
This is, I'll say, cool thing about this one. This is a pot still wheated bourbon. So this is 6 to 7 years age statement. This is a batch. So this is not a single barrel. This is 1 to 3 barrels of basically, let's see here. It is local artisan harvest wheat, dark toasted and malted barley, and a local corn. So 117.2 proof, and it's micro single batch pot still. So
Now, this pot still versus column still, for those that don't know, you tend to be a little bit less efficient when you're doing a pot still.
Yeah.
There are some people that swear by doing pot still, and brandy is almost always done in a pot still.
Yeah.
They call it an onion top because it has an extra.
Irish whiskey is pot still.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yep.
And depending on the distiller, some of them have some rather strong opinions about pot still versus column still.
I know Alan Bishop loves pot still.
Pot still. Yeah.
And one of the big things with his are he has that the upright that has the bubble. It just has more copper coming into contact, and it just does something to what he wants to do. And it's all about learning the process. But again, with a what you were saying, a vertical column, it's a lot more efficient. You can make a lot more whiskey a lot faster.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of places are doing that.
So the color on this is
Whoa,
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Like, very dark.
that's crazy.
Very amber. Yeah. Because I know last time we went to
Wow.
Bardstown, we were kind of burnt out on the big ones. So we actually stopped by Preservation. And funny thing is, they have a longhorn steer cattle on property.
Oh,
like the
The
cattle
whole
farm.
longhorn steel cow farm
Oh,
on
wow, okay.
property. And we spent more time playing with the cows than we actually did, in the tasting room. But
did Liesl,
everything,
did Liesl tip a cow?
no,
Oh, okay.
we pet quite a few of them,
Oh,
but
good,
we
good,
didn't tip any.
Did
But,
you name any of them?
Delicious.
Huh?
Did you name any of them?
We won't talk about that. But
T-bone.
it's beautiful, small little setup. The tasting room was great. The younger lady that helped us in the tasting room, we were the only people there. We showed up, there was nobody in the parking lot. We showed up, we go in, Had a great time looking around at everything. Some of their stuff is a little pricey. I mean, it's a little higher end, but like the Saint Nick and stuff like that, phenomenal. I mean, if you taste any of it, it's phenomenal pours. And then we didn't sign up for the actual tour for the property, but I've heard that the tour is actually really not. Did you go on the tour there before? Somebody was talking about the tour before. The tour is actually really nice, but the grounds there are phenomenal. And everything that we sampled there was really good. One of them was the old Saint Nick, I think, that was very festive. It had a little bit of a peppermint.
We had that here for about a year.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The
So,
rye.
yeah.
Saint Nick rye. Yeah.
But, we tasted that, and it was. I just wanted to sit in front of a fireplace with the Christmas tree and music, Mariah Carey blasting in the background, and just have a good time. But
Christmas is a smaller bud. No, sorry.
I gotta say, this has some of the most just really, really nice, soft, subtle caramel. It's not like what I would call any kind of caramel bomb or anything. It just has there is something in it about the caramel note on this one that I really, really like. Just because it's not aggressive. It's just
very subtle.
it's a good balance between the oak and the caramel.
Yeah.
You get both on the nose, but it's not, neither one's overpowering the other.
Well, so tell me this: if you guys get in on the side of the nose, do you kind of get a hint of like an apple?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
I was making sure that wasn't just me.
No, I
just
get
you.
that.
Oh,
It's always you.
It's definitely not floral. It's more apple on the
finish
high
it's
notes.
really long.
It is very, very long.
And did you say what the age was on this? Or
It's 6 to 7 year.
okay.
And it's oily as hell, man.
Yeah,
Ooh,
it is.
yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Oily.
Good advice. What's right?
It's an oily bomb.
Really viscous.
Chloe's going to take a sip.
I'll take a page out of Scott's book. It's got a very good mouthfeel.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does. Yes, it does.
It's preservation.
It's got just enough heat to it as well.
Yeah.
I like that kind of spicy heat hit that it's got.
That's what I get on weeders. I get that little heaty finish a lot of times with them.
Me too.
So I like that I get a little bit of the essence of the grain, but it's not
not overpowering.
strong.
Yeah.
No.
It's there.
It is there. Yeah.
I like that though.
That's one of the better weeders I've
You know,
had.
and
Yeah.
when you pot still, you're going to have a lot more congeners coming through the distillate than you will if you run it on a column. Columns to clean it up. You want a consistent profile all the time. You kind of have to do that. It's hard to do that with a pot still.
Yep.
Yeah.
It leaves a lot more in there, right? It just that's when you're saying congeners. That's what you're
Right.
referring to. It's leaving more in it.
For the mouthfeel that you get from a pot still, I think this is exactly what you expect.
Yeah.
And it hits like the mark 100%. Like it's just a solid bourbon.
And it
Color, the
pairs
viscous,
very
everything.
well with the cigar too.
And good age on it, so you're not overpowered by the grain on it.
Mhm.
You get what I would expect to get from an aged weeded bourbon like this. Well, it's really good.
It's very good.
It has a textbook Kentucky hug at the end that you just feel it going all the way
Well,
down.
and with them using that roasted malted or the malted barley in that, it's creamy on the palate.
Mhm.
You don't get the taste of the creaminess, but you get on the palate. It's just mouth watering.
Yeah.
And that's what I get a lot of times on malt.
And the cool thing is we just tasted the Larceny, right?
Yeah.
They both are similar. They have a little bit of a similar flavor profile. They both have a nice sweetness to them. But again, with this, the mouthfeel on this compared to the Larceny is just completely night
Oh,
and
yeah.
different.
I agree.
What did you say the proof was on this one?
This
You like
117.
117.
117. Okay.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Definitely mouthwatering.
Oh, Chris says he likes the Larceny better than this.
Okay. Honestly,
That's why you're sitting over there.
they're a
Oh.
toss up. They're both great. They're both great.
It's okay to be wrong sometimes.
and thank you, Preservation, for putting a pull tab on your wax stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
So you don't have to cut it.
So I don't cut my finger off.
There's some
Yeah.
pretty rough ones out there.
Yeah.
For sure. Bourbon 30.
So
Hey, no, Bourbon 30.
This has gotten a lot
They,
better.
Honestly,
they
though,
pull tabs now.
They do have pull tabs.
As far as presentation wise, though, I do really like that bottle too.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
stands
so
out.
I think one of the co-owners, they were in a wine business and they had a bunch of leftover wine bottles and they're like,
Yeah, you
"Oh,
can
we're
kind
gonna
of
use
tell.
these."
Is that bigger than a 750?
It looks like
It looks like it,
a
but I
1
think
liter almost.
It does.
thicker glass.
it's thicker glass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thick-
I think it's got a
wine
bulb on the
bottles.
bottom too. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
So it's probably 750 exactly.
Say it.
So they do have this same bourbon in a 20 year that
Ooh.
Fred Minnick did a tasting on YouTube not too long ago. And I thought that he had tasted this one, but this one's 6 to 7 years. But imagine a 20-year.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Wow.
Crazy, huh?
So we are getting to the end of the year, which means in the new year, there's stuff going on. One of
There
those
it is.
things is going to be PCA,
Yep.
Yes, coming up.
and nominations are currently happening for Best of Leaf.
Yeah, so if we get nominated again, we'll let you guys know. I don't know if what the rules are on nominations. Since we won last year, first year they did it, I don't know if we're actually eligible, but we're going to try again. And you know what? Hopefully we can win Midwest Cigar Bar of the Year again. So we'll see.
So
But I'm
keep
not
an
sure
eye.
if
The
it's-
streak
I'm-
alive.
I'm not sure if it's actually, again, if we're eligible or not. We'll find out.
Look, I mean, there's a lot of great Midwest cigar bars, but
There
we're,
are.
we're the best. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just sorry guys. Like,
Yeah.
No question. I mean, there's some new ones on the scene that are actually getting a lot of exposure right now. You got the Louisville Cigar Company that's just opening up.
Is there a Packers game on tonight? Because there's a whole bunch of Packers guys that just walked in.
No, we don't want them.
You know what? Those Packers fans,
Oh boy.
Oh no.
those Packers fans are like Pens fans. They're freaking everywhere.
freaking Packers fan.
They just seem to multiply.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
So, speaking of next year and
Yeah.
things with Final Third,
Yeah.
Good timing.
Yes,
it's probably a
let's do it.
good time to talk about the
Get it,
big
Rob.
announcement.
Yeah, I think we're gonna wait till next week.
Oh,
I'm
cliffhanger.
I'm kidding. No. Yeah, so we are starting a membership program here at Final Third. We don't have lockers, so it's not going to be a locker program. But what you're going to and you inquire about it. I can't on YouTube and podcasting tell you costs and stuff because that gets us banned. But just come in here and inquire about it. The membership is going to be a yearly membership. You're going to get discounts every quarter. You're going to have a chance to come to some of our quarterly gatherings where we'll be doing some tastings,
Exclusive events.
exclusive events for members only. But we wanted to do something, and I know Scott's been a big proponent of getting this going as well. Scott is
Number 001.
Yep.
so he's the first one to
Numero
sign up
uno.
for it. If you want to be a member here, there will be a lot of benefits. We're going to try to make this as valuable to you as possible. But what it does is it helps us gain a little bit of income before the trade show so we can get more cigars in here so you have more product to actually be able to enjoy. So so inquire about that when you come in here. We're hoping to get, maybe 25, 30 people minimum to get started this year. If we get more, great. If we get less, whatever it is, we're going to do the same thing. And we're going to try to keep building this over the years to be something special for people to actually enjoy.
So we'll talk about a few of the benefits
Yes.
here in some details. So you're
Yeah.
going to see a quarterly credit to your account.
Yep.
You can come in and find out details on that.
Yep.
So that, you're getting some just immediate return on value for your loyal commitment to the Final Third Cigar and Whiskey Lounge, being a customer. But really the biggest focus of this, to your point, is going to be experiences.
Exactly.
Right. So, exclusive first right of access to special cigar releases.
Yeah.
Sometimes you come in and you're like, oh man, I really wanted that chef special. And
Yeah,
it's
thanks,
gone.
Gunther.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Well, and that helps me because if I reach out to the members and say, who all wants to get this, I mean, for example, Knuckle Sandwich 57 is going to be coming out this year. Everybody
Can't
loves
wait.
all the 55, 56 were bangers. They sold out quickly.
Oh yeah.
If I get some of our members say, I want a box, that helps me understand how many I can buy on top of that. That way I'm not just buying the amount that I think I need to buy and then they're all sold out real quick.
Yeah. Next version of the Warhead too, right?
Warheads are
Oh,
coming out.
yeah.
Yeah. And that one's, I'll have some more information about that. That's going to be a good release this year.
Yeah.
Warhead
They're gonna do-
lighters.
They're gonna-
Oh yeah.
Warhead lighters. I'll have a few of those coming in here. We should have them about any time now.
I
Didn't
was
get a
pretty
bunch
excited
of them.
about that when I saw it.
So I did see the lighter. So
Yeah.
Tyler brought it in, and it's a nice lighter. You guys,
Hey, all right.
Nice.
Good.
it's a four
Yeah, we
jet.
were a little worried
Four
about
jet.
that.
Okay.
jet,
Quad
yeah.
jet. Beautiful.
So, but this is going to help us be able to bring products into you, and that's the whole goal, is to help make a better experience for everybody.
So there will be some gifts associated with the membership.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
You will have a membership card
Yep.
that we're getting.
Yep.
Let's see here. What else do I have on here? Oh, This is an important one. It is available for purchase starting now to
Yes.
the end of January,
Yes.
right? So at the end of January, it's done. So the membership will be set for the year. At this point, that's the expectation, will be set for the year.
Yep.
By the end of January, and there'll be, immediate benefits once the membership buy-in period has finished.
Yeah.
An example of some of the events. So obviously we're closely associated with Harrah's Hoosier Park Casino
Yep.
and the horse track, and there'll probably end up being some event there. Opportunities for exclusive cigar and bourbon pairing and tasting events with representatives from manufacturers and distributors that are member only events.
Yep.
It's really meant to provide kind of a community of smokers and drinkers that want to share with each other, right?
Exactly,
So
yes.
there'll be opportunities to share your thoughts about various bourbons and cigars, to even potentially come in because there are going to be after hours events, and
Yeah.
maybe try some of each other's bourbons from time to time and check that out.
Yeah.
I think that's everything that we have documented.
Pretty much. I mean,
Right now.
we're going to be looking at some other opportunities down the road too. But we want to make sure this is it's valuable to you guys. I don't want it to just be a money grab for us. I want it to be something valuable for you guys. So we're going to work hard all year long to make something valuable. Obviously, first quarter, whatever we do on that first quarter is probably not going to be, potentially won't be the horse track,
No,
but
we'll wait till
do
summer.
it summer because
Mhm.
you get out there at the horse track and it's just in the summer. It's absolutely an amazing time.
We'll work
And,
with Gene on that.
We'll work
Yeah.
with Gene.
Gene has been so
Gene.
good at
Shout out
to Gene.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shout
yeah. He's done a great job of just working with us at Final Third, and
Yes.
obviously the cross sponsorship there has, I think, been something really positive for both sides.
Both
And,
sides, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've got some pretty good thoughts. I'm going to try to work on with the horse track for a really special event.
And
to
if
do
and
for
if
members.
and if you anyone out there has ideas, we're all ears.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
We want feedback. We want to hear what the club members want. Right.
And during each one of the members gatherings, parties, whatever you want to call it, we're going to actually have a little bit of time where we can connect with each other and say, what's working, what's not working, what would you like to see, stuff like that. Obviously, if it gets to be where it's all spending more money to make it more valuable, that gets a little hard if we're spending more money than what the membership is.
Yeah.
But there's things that actually we can do that maybe would benefit each person coming in here. And honestly, the biggest thing is really the members then develop a group of friends that they can hang out with and talk. And now you have another group of friends that love the same things you love. So,
And this is,
which is what our business
I
is
don't,
about.
I want to make sure that people understand that this membership is for people that are really wanting to be invested and learn more, experience more, have more connections. This isn't going to be some 500 person membership program,
No.
right? This
No,
is
we couldn't
not
handle that.
No, it's
No.
so this is definitely something that is going to be exclusive. It's going to be, focused on providing experiences that you otherwise probably would not have access to.
You're not just renting a locker and being, just
Yeah.
another
Just
person that
being
comes in and
comfortable.
sits.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
you're going to be somebody that's involved in everything that we do. You're going to be somebody that's, part of the mix.
Right.
And so, yeah.
We're also talking about some exclusive podcast content as well. So
Yeah, Mike's
maybe
working on that right now.
Yep.
We may actually have some specific members only content for that too. Now, I will say also, if you're someone that says, I just don't have the money to become a member this year, that's fine. We're still going to be doing events here. We're still going to be doing all that stuff.
You're
This
still
is
going to be
not-
included.
You're still going to
Yeah.
be included, but we're not going to be separating you from all the events. We're still going to have cigar events and whiskey events, all that stuff. But this is just going to be some additional content you can actually just engage with us.
From concept to creation, Bother Visuals specializes in bringing your ideas to life. They'll turn ordinary moments into extraordinary stories. Bother Visuals is your one-stop shop for all things visual. Be sure to like and follow on all social media at Bother Visuals.
And help us along the way. So
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, we've been talking about this for a year.
Yeah, we
have.
It's
been in the
this
mix.
has not been something that has been taken lightly. There's been a lot of discussion. I know that Rob, you've talked with a number of customers about what would you like to see out of a membership program, what's important, and to say, oh, it's X number of sub $100 or whatever, and that's not the purpose.
We've all had, we've all done things. I mean, I would assume most of us have done this, where you joined some kind of a club or whatever, and then all of a sudden you realize, for example, the cigar of the month clubs. Everybody's, that gets into cigars tries one, and they get it, and they get it for a few months. They're like, okay, I'm getting tired of getting all these online cigars that I really don't want. And you get maybe one out of a pack of 4 or 5 that month or that quarter, and you're like, oh, that was great, and then you cancel it. We don't want to be that.
No.
We don't want to. We're not giving out just a cheap free cigar to you because you're a member. We're going to try to make this special. So
Yeah. Yep. So that's our big announcement. Membership.
announcement. Yeah.
Come in, ask.
Wait, excitement. We got so much
Yeah.
excitement.
Jazz hands.
Apparently, I'm not a very excitable person.
that was it. That was the most you get out of Rob.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yay, jazz hands.
I'm looking forward to what this club can really be. I think can be really something special for everyone who's a part of it, and it's something to think about.
Yeah,
Yes.
and this will be like, again, this is year 1 we're doing it, so we're gonna learn all year long, and we're gonna pivot quarterly per quarter, and I'm hoping that by the time we get through this year, we're able to create something we can do consistently year after year. It's really a good benefit for everybody. So
come in and ask and become an inaugural member.
yeah,
And not only that, like feedback.
Yes.
Totally appreciate it.
Yes,
we
yes.
want to know what
And
you
remember, you may give feedback. We may not go with it, but we appreciate it because it helps us kind of gauge what people are looking for in a membership program.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's we know it's challenging, right? It's challenging out there.
It is.
Sometimes, deciding what you're going to spend some money on.
Coming. The economy's coming back, baby.
That's right. There you go.
Sorry.
I was going to ask for my own parking space, but that probably won't go through. So
you park up front anyway. What's the difference?
We just can't take Chris's spot.
Well, we just need to have like a rubber wall for Chris to run into.
He's shaking his head at you right now.
Chris, it's funny. Whenever anyone else are in here, Chris comes in, somebody always yells out, "Chris is coming in hot."
coming in hot.
Oh man. Yeah. I think that's
Anything else, guys?
I think that is the majority of the news that we have. I don't know about you guys, but I'm in the last third of this cigar.
I was gonna say
Too. This has actually been a slow.
it's actually had been a slow burner. We've gone this whole podcast with this one
we
cigar.
usually end up
usually in the
surprised.
second.
Yeah, we're getting
I'm
seven.
out. I'm almost done.
Yeah, I'm close.
hanging on by it.
Oh, Lisa, bring it up to me.
Bring it up.
We got one more thing. I did already talk about this, babe. Yeah. So she was just bringing me the. We're gonna have the holiday specials coming up all this next week through Christmas. So
Yeah, and don't forget about the Dear Santa papers that are
Papers
around.
that are around.
So you can fill it out, hand it off to your spouse, whatever, and
Yep.
they can come in and know exactly what to buy for you.
Yep.
Has that happened already, Lisa? Have you had anybody bring that in?
If you fill it out and leave it on the table, I will post it in the bathroom.
Oh,
Oh.
nice. It'll be in the bathroom.
Oh, there you go.
Somebody might get that as a Christmas gift.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
But to that point, like if you want to DM any of us on the podcast, if you just say, hey, give me a couple of good ideas, we can always shoot you a couple of good ideas
Yeah.
of what would be a great gift.
Yeah, and I always
Oh,
look at
yeah.
it, it's like I get a lot of spouses that come in and say, I know my husband comes in here, I don't know what he smokes. I can look it up, but if you don't know what to get, you can always get a gift card. Gift cards are great.
Gift cards are
Honestly-
available.
Honestly, cigar smokers love gift cards because you can go get whatever the hell you want to.
That's when you go, oh, I never wanted to spend that money on that cigar. But
Exactly.
And not just cigars, like the Calibri cutters, the Calibri
Yep.
lighters. Like I've
Yes.
given these as gifts, and I get people coming back to me that I've given them to as gifts, thanking me year after year. It's their favorite cutter. They love it, and that makes me feel good. That like I didn't go buy a cigar, right?
Right.
Yeah.
These are cigar guys, but to get them something special that they really enjoy using on a weekly, daily
Yeah.
basis.
Hey, cutters and lighters are not cheap.
No,
No, and they're great.
It's a
gifts.
great gift.
They
you
are
can't
great
enjoy
gifts.
you can't enjoy a cigar without a cutter and a lighter.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah. Something else, Lisa, just remind me too, and I know we're getting close to Christmas, but we do ship. So if there's something you want me to ship, just either you can call in here and we'll call you back. You can hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, send us a message, email, whatever. And the email is ftc@finalthirdcigar.com. Just send us a message or whatever. You need something shipped, we'll call you back and we can take your payment over the phone and we'll ship it out. Of course, we're getting close to the time of year where it's going to be hard to get there in time, depending on how far you are. But if you're looking at the first of this week, definitely hit us up. We can do that for sure.
Now, some podcast updates.
Yes.
Obviously, today we're in here. It's 1:00 on Sunday, and well, it's when we started, and we are broadcasting this live in the lounge.
Yes.
In addition to broadcasting live in the lounge, our goal, can't say it'll happen every time, but we're going to try
We'll get there.
to actually do this live streaming as well. So
Yep.
after the first of the year, the goal will be that every Sunday, as much as we can,
Yeah.
we're going to try and record and go live for streaming. So
Yeah.
we wanted to today, but I had to get some cables on order from Amazon, and Mike's not here because he's
Shout out to
busy
Mike.
working. Yeah, shout
Mike's-
out to Mike being,
Good job.
yeah. What are you
Yeah,
doing,
come on
Bother?
now.
Jeez.
Come on, you're supposed to be here volunteering as a
Mike
producer.
is the wizard behind
Yep.
it.
He is.
He is. He is.
Although Scott is a good fill-in. He's done a great job.
We love you,
getting
Mike.
set up today, but yeah, you're right, and what we'd like to see is we'd like to see more people coming in here. If we're able to be consistently on Sundays around 1:00, then hopefully we get some people coming in here and engaging with
Yeah.
us, and stop by the mic and say
We'll
something.
have an open mic, hopefully, that we can
Yeah.
come in and
Yeah.
give your thoughts on what you're smoking or what you're doing.
But if you're a dumbass, we're going to call you out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It happens.
Give your balls a tug.
Give your balls a tug. Tit fucker.
Well, Grant, I'm glad you joined us today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you
been
so much
great.
for that.
Thank you guys.
Thanks
It's
for
been
your
fun.
14 words you gave us. It was
Yeah.
great.
Thanks for sharing the story. There.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Reese,
that's awesome.
the Reese Across America thing, pretty amazing.
And if
Um,
you've been in here any day of the week, you've probably seen this guy already before.
Yeah,
So
I'm
you
in
probably
here a
already
few
know him.
times.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he likes it so
So
much.
true.
He's getting a house built less than a mile away.
Less than a mile.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
He will now be officially closer than
Yep.
any of
He's
us,
gonna get a tricycle right in here,
dude.
Oh yeah.
park it out front. He'll probably take up 3 spots.
Get
do
one of
it,
those
but it's
adult
fine.
big wheels.
That'd be
There you
cool.
go.
There it is.
Yeah, there you go.
Motorized big wheels. Oh yeah.
I can
Gonna grab his e-bike.
I can see Grant going down Pendleton Pike, State Road 67 here. Yeah,
Might be a little hairy, but
semis going by at 45 miles an hour, because if you're going 46, you're gonna get a ticket.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Yesterday, I don't know what was going on, but this one cop went through here. He's probably going 85 through town, and there was 5 cars behind him going the same speed, chasing him. And I'm like, what the hell is going on in this town?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's Ingalls, man.
You
It's
never know.
lively.
You'll see it all.
oh
See
yeah,
it all.
lively.
Of course, you tell people, "What? Yeah, it's over the lounges. It's in Ingalls." And they're like,
Where's that?
There's
Is that in the middle of
Ingalls.
nowhere? No,
The,
it's
the only thing in
15
Ingles.
minutes. Yeah.
Anything
There's
else
the
you
gas
want to touch
station.
on before we wrap this up for the day?
That's
Yeah.
it, man.
"Is that it? Are we done?"
We're done. We're done.
All right. Well,
so
thanks everyone.
again, let's go fuel this afternoon. 13
Yep.
minutes from now, we're
Yep.
gonna get that game going.
Yep. Hopefully the Colts can pull out a
Go
win.
Colts. They
Colts
need
need
to
to
win
win
this
it.
game.
We didn't even talk about the fact that IU plays Notre Dame.
Oh
this
yeah.
Saturday. Holy
Oh wow, it's already
what
here.
a game! What
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be so much fun. We got a few more minutes. We're not
Yeah, we
quite
do.
done
We're
yet.
good.
This playoff is going to be awesome.
We need.
I do feel like personally, looking at the brackets, Ohio State has the hardest road to get anywhere. Penn State might have the easiest road.
Maybe Texas.
Texas
Yeah,
has
I was gonna say Texas.
Texas pretty good road. IU actually didn't get a bad draw.
No.
I mean, if they play
For once.
if they play to their potential, you got Notre Dame first. They could beat Notre Dame, but Notre Dame could beat them. But then you got Georgia just kind of having a little bit of a down year this year to get to the finals, and it's like okay,
Yeah, you
so
don't know
we're
which Georgia team is going to show up.
you never know. So this is going to be a fun tournament. I'm really excited to see IU make it in. It's been First time ever they've been in this position. So,
One game at a time. One
Yeah.
game at a time.
It's not
Don't look ahead.
basketball for once.
well, what they have to do is they have to at least get a field goal, because if there's special teams involved, you might be
A
screwed.
little scary at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're actually digging into the bag here of the Olivas. Thanks again to Oliva.
Shout out to Oliva.
Yep, because they gave us all these cigars for
This is the
our
sample
orange
pack.
beef.
This is the sample pack. I brought
Oh,
all the
okay.
sample packs out. Yeah.
Got you. Yep. But shout out to these guys. They're always taking care of us here. And yep, lots
So
of
cool.
Oliva cigars here.
Lots of Oliva. Yes. Well, guys,
Go wrong with any of them.
we appreciate you guys listening in again. Probably have to hit the button on the sound out, right?
Yeah, I know. I was
I know.
just
Okay.
Shout out. You know, we got Green River,
Gaylord,
Larceny, Preservation.
Preservation.
good
Yeah.
bottles. If you can find them out there, definitely
Thank you for
pick
sharing
them
those
up.
with us.
Well,
Bill.
thank
Appreciate
you
it,
very
Will.
much. Yep.
So yeah, so you guys can follow me anywhere on Instagram, Facebook, all that. Final Third Cigar. Will.
You follow me, Cocky Wolverine, on Instagram.
I don't really have social media.
If you're going to be on the show more often, you're going to have to fix
Yeah,
that.
you're going to figure it out.
How to reach out
What's the
to.
Tinder account? Will?
Meet at 317.
Interstate Battery Guy number 4.
Right. But you can find me at Scotty D Smokes.
Motophoto Will on Instagram.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot, guys, for joining here, and thank you guys for listening.
Cheers, everyone.
Thank you.
Dude.